Hiya, my name's Charlie. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my weekly reads. How are you guys? Let me know in the comments below what you've been up to this week. We can have a good old natter. Before I get into the natter stuff, as I always say, I'm going to go through my weekly reads. I will also put timestamps because I will be ranking the book of books that I've currently read. So I'll put a timestamp for that in the comments below if you're just interested in that. So yeah, right, so on to the books. So I always say this every single week and I know you guys always laugh at me, but I haven't really read that much this week. To me, that's what it feels like to me. It doesn't feel like I've been spending time reading. I say this every week, but this is the truth. So I have finished 2 books this week, but before I talk about the 2 books I finished, because they're book of books, I'm going to talk about the one I'm currently reading, which is The Rachel Incident by Caroline O'Donoghue. This was recommended by Scott from Gunpowder Fiction and Plot, and also Leanne from Leanne Rose. I'll link both of their channels in the description. I saw about this on Leanne Rose's Instagram, I think. Yeah, so I'll link that as well. Yeah, this is basically, we follow the lead character of Rachel. I'm only like a little ways in, but we follow Rachel and she's like this tall character, and it's kind of just this kind of, currently as I'm reading it, it's about Rachel and her sort of friendship with this main character called James. But there's also like other characters involved and this university professor and stuff. So yeah, I'm sort of discovering it as I go. But it's really, I love the humour in this. Yeah, and it's just fun, easy reading, and yeah, it's just nice. And it's nice to have a tall main character. I love all the little references to that as a person who is also tall. So yeah, it's fun, and I'm so pleased I'm reading it. And it's pink, which obviously I'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, I love the fact that it's pink as well. Yeah, it's just perfect book for the moment. And it's good sort of to break up all the bookery books. It's been a nice sort of like go-to for that. And speaking of bookery books, I will talk about the 2 bookery books that I have finished since the last time I spoke to you. And then I will rank the book of books that I've currently read in order. So, so the 2 book of books that I've finished since the last time I spoke to you, one that you'll know about, it was In Ascension by Macinnes. I spoke about this in last week's weekly reads, so I don't want to go on about it too much. I'll link that weekly reads in the description as well. This is predominantly, we're following, it's like a marine biologist, and she's like specialises in algae, and it's sort of talking about like the little things in life, and also like the grand like the bigger picture about in terms of creation, life, and like things, sort of existential things as well. So yeah, I liked this book. I didn't dislike it, but there were parts of it that were a little bit of a slog to get through for me. I think the writing is gorgeous, and I can see this is going to have a lot of I can see this is going to have like a big following, because if you like sciencey books, if you like this gorgeous kind of writing and sort of like books that go into like more detail about like, I don't know how to describe it, but like books that sort of talk about a bit larger topics, I think you would enjoy this. But yeah, bear in mind that it is quite science heavy. So for me, whilst the audiobook made that more digestible, I think if I was reading it physically, I probably would have DNF'd this, being completely honest. But yeah, I can see the merit for this book. So yeah, it's a beautifully, very clever book, but just not really a Charlie book, being honest. So yeah, that's that one. And then I also finished If I Survive You by Jonathan Escoffery. This is set, it starts in 1979, and it's sort of broken into short stories. It's sort of like an interconnected stories. It's that's how it's sort of told, and it's about this family, a Jamaican family living in Miami during that time, and we're sort of following them. And the very first perspective that you listen to, I was like completely, I really loved that first bit. But then sometimes I feel like again, my attention maybe waned a little bit, and I wasn't always invested in each story at the same level. But overall, this is really strong for me. I think if I would have had the physical copy of this one, I think I would have enjoyed it more, because we're listening to this on audiobook. The chapters are like an hour long, so you really have to like, I feel like you have to concentrate more. I feel like if it was in the physical copy, I would have, if you know, when you lose your way, I feel like it's easier to sort of rewind and work out what character you're with, and to sort of like ground yourself a bit easier. So that's the only thing I would say with this book. Maybe get the physical copy, I would say. But yeah, it was a good read, a strong read. You'll see where I rank it in a minute. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It talks about some really interesting topics within this, to do with racial identity, obviously the recession, and living in an area where hurricanes happen. Obviously, being in the UK, we don't have any of that. So all of those things were really interesting. Yeah, I would definitely recommend this one actually. So yeah, but yeah, maybe get the physical copy, as I said. And then in terms of what I'm currently reading from the Booker, I then started listening to Pearl by Sian Hughes. I've only listened to a few chapters of this, so I'm very early doors in terms of me being able to talk about it. But this is about our lead character's mother, when she's 8 years old, goes missing, and obviously it's mainly to do with that really. Pearl references a poem, a medieval poem, so it's sort of, and also the author herself, Sian Hughes, is a poet, and I feel like you can feel that, especially listening to the audiobook. But yeah, the only commentary I have is that as you're listening to the narrator especially, it feels like the lead character, even though she's an adult when she's telling this story, there's something kind of very childlike to her. It's almost like she's stuck in the time when her mother has gone missing. It's sort of like that. That's the feeling I'm getting at the moment, but I'm very early doors, so I can't really comment. I'm enjoying this, it's good. I don't really know where it's going. I'm still very early doors, like I said. So those are all the Booker books that I read. So shall I rank them? Okay, right. This is what you guys will probably be more interested in. And this is going to change each week. So each week I will do this. The more books I read, you will see the order probably change a bit. And also depends on like books that, if they stay with you, that's what happened with the Women's Prize each week. Some of the places dropped even though when I initially liked them. So we'll see. Yeah. In number 4 will be no surprise for you guys. It's In Ascension by Macinnes. I just feel like, in terms of if I had to go back and reread these, this is another one of the factors that I'm sort of like thinking about. Even though I think the writing is really good quality, I think I would just be like, no, please no, for this particular book. So that's In Ascension, number 4. In number 3, I've got Pearl, but that's just because I'm putting Pearl on here just because obviously I have got a first impression of it, but I haven't read enough of it to rank it really higher than that. And then number 2, I have obviously got If I Survive You by Jonathan Escoffery. I really enjoyed this. I don't know how much, in terms of the plot, how much this will stay with me, but yeah, again, so that will be something interesting to see as we go throughout the process. And then number 1, obviously House of Doors by Tan Tran Eng. I really enjoyed this book. The more I am away from it, the more this book sort of grows in my mind, and especially sort of compared to the ones the Booker books I've currently read, it's sort of, obviously it's the one to beat. So yeah, those are my current rankings. Right, so that's all the books and stuff. I will quickly show you some books I've like received / picked up this week. It's just 2. I've got, so when I was at the library, this is one I'd had a reserve on. Birnham by Eleanor Catton. This was one I was, again, for sure thought was going to be Booker listed this year, but obviously it wasn't. I don't know whether I'm realistically going to have time to read this, because already waiting at the library is the Sebastian Barry one. So once I finish the Caroline O'Donoghue one, I think I'm probably going to head to that and probably end up returning this, but I may try a chapter of it, and then because I know, again, Scott loved this one, so and there's a few people that enjoyed it, so I would be interested to see, like, to try it and see my thoughts on it, and then at least if I've tried it, I'll know whether I'm interested to go back to it or not. We will see. And then in the post, my lovely friend Alice, who is just the sweetest person ever. I just love her. Alice in the Giant Bookshelf. Channel's linked in the description as always. Sent me, she asked me, she's read this, and I think Gemma gave this to her as well. It's S by Slavinka Draculic. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. I think, where was it translated from? This is a novel in translation as well. It's translated by Marko Ivic. I'm not sure what language. And so yeah, it came with, I got this obviously in the post, and it came with a little froggy bookmark, which when I was younger, I used to collect frogs. That's the kind of person I am, obviously. Yeah, so little side note, I love this little bookmark, and also this little note postcard, which obviously had a little note from her in the back. So thank you, Alice. I'm really, really grateful. I can't wait to read this one. This is going to be like a super brutal book. So even though this is suitable for women in translation, if I have time, obviously I will read it. I've been warned that you have to be in the right headspace because it's about the Bosnian, it's about the war in the Balkans. So this is like, think Black Butterflies, but a lot more detailed and brutal. And obviously Black Butterflies was brutal in places, as you guys know. But I'm still sort of like not looking forward to reading it, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm grateful for this anyway. So yes, that is that. Then in terms of other things to talk to you guys about, you guys probably hopefully would have seen myself and Charlie have put an announcement up for #Secret September. We are hosting a read along of The Secrets of Hartwood Hall by the lovely Booktubers lovely Katie Lumsden. This is going to be taking place throughout September. I'll write the details of this in the description, and obviously I'll link my announcement video. And so if you're interested in joining, you've got till the 31st of August to sign up. I've got a Google document I will put in the description again. So yeah, this will be a reread when I get to this. This will be a reread because I read this a few months ago and just absolutely loved it. It's one of my favourite books of the year. So yeah, check out our video, check out Charlie's video. Again, I'll link both of those in the description. And I hope lots of you can join us and discuss this. We'll be discussing it on Voxer, so yeah. And also we'll be doing a live show, hopefully Q&A with Katie, which will be very exciting because then you guys can natter with Katie as well as us about her beautiful book. So yeah, that's that. So that's Secret September. Then in terms of like my oh, I know what I'll talk to you about. I'll talk to you about Barbie. So what happened? So last weekend, I went to see the Barbie movie with my children and one of my friends and one of Oscar's friends, and it was just so much fun. As you can tell, I've been like, so before I went to see the movie, my daughter was nagging me to listen to the soundtrack, so I'd already listened to the soundtrack before I saw the movie, and the soundtrack is amazing. It's brilliant. But yeah, then we saw the movie, so it was just wonderful. And it's like, I know everyone's talking about it, but so I won't talk about it too long, but if you want something that's a very uplifting film, something that's just going to make you smile, and it's also got, even though it's a Barbie movie, I do think there's a lot there for adults too. There's lots of, obviously the humour's there for the adults and the children will love it. So I think it's sort of like one for sort of like all ages, if you know what I mean. But yeah, no, I really, yeah, obviously loved it. And then as soon as I left the cinema, me and my friend was joking, because obviously Ken wears like the Kenough T-shirt, T-shirt. So I was like, I need that. So both of us were joking and we said we need the T-shirt, and obviously straight away I ordered it. I will link the Etsy seller actually in the description, because I only ordered this Saturday, literally as soon as I'd come back from the cinema, and it literally came yesterday, which was Wednesday. So that is really good service. So and it was really cheap. So I think it was like £12 or £13, and so yeah, and the delivery was only a couple of pounds as well. So yeah, I really love it. I'm very happy with it. I will be continuing to sing the Ken song for a very long time because I'm just obsessed with the whole soundtrack. Yeah, and also, side note, Shooty Gatwa was in the movie and I did not realise, which obviously now I saw that there was a pink TARDIS, so obviously it makes so much sense for that. I just can't believe I just didn't twig that that he was in this movie. And as soon as I saw him, I was like going batty, as my daughter can attest to. So yeah, so that is that. In terms of my plans ahead of myself, this weekend, actually, well, tomorrow, one of my beautiful friends is coming to Bracknell, which I'm very excited for. I'm going to have the day with her, and so I'm very excited for that. I'll be doing today. I'm going to be doing some baking, and that, I'm getting everything ready. And then then this weekend, I'm hoping to do something very exciting. As you would have watched this, it would have already happened. Hopefully, will it have happened? Would I have gone? I'm hoping so. Yeah, so I won't say about that, but you'll probably know by now. You would already know what this is because it'll be on social media. and I'm hoping to do a vlog for that, so watch this space if I go, hopefully nothing goes wrong, hopefully, touch wood. Yeah, you'll see that, and then next week again I've got a few other exciting things planned. So yeah, I'm having really enjoying with myself. I'm starting, obviously I'm feeling much more myself now, as you can tell. Feeling much more well. Yeah, so yeah, all good. What have you guys been reading? Have you been reading any booker books? What are your thoughts on the booker books you've been reading? What else are you reading? What else are you up to? Let me know in the comments below. I love having a natter with you guys. You know I do. So yeah, take care and sending you guys lots of love.